to talk about the circulatory system. So basically, the circulatory system consists of the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. The circulatory system consists of the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. So you the circulatory system. These are the components: akuma, moja, and inti. For better understanding, I'll be mixing my language. So the circulatory system consists of the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. So let's take the blood vessels. There are three main types of the blood vessels. We have veins, arteries, and capillaries. Veins, arteries, and capillaries. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. All veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. When we say a blood is deoxygenated, it means that that blood contains carbon dioxide and it has already been used by the body. Or in simple terms, we can see that that blood has already been used by the body, or it is impure. Now, when we say oxygenated blood simply means that blood contains oxygen and it is yet to be used by the body, and it's also a pure blood in this sense. So how blood flows through the heart is a subtopic under the circulatory system. Now let's move on to the blood. With the blood consists of two main parts. We have the formed elements part and the fluid part. The fluid part is called the plasma. Then the formed elements, we have blood cells, we have minerals, nutrients, and among others. Se yakase moja ne yewo emu yachemu anase yewo mu nchichemu bienu. Yewo de yewo ne blood cells. Yewo nutrients. Please, this diagram here is representing how blood flows through the heart. This diagram here is representing how blood flows through the heart. So with the diagram, we have the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Vena cava is an example of a vein. So I've already told you that all veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. So deoxygenated blood, or blood that has already been used by the body, from our eyes, from our nose, from our ears, from our teeth, from our mouth, from our neck, from our breast, from our chest, from our trunk, will pass through the superior vena cava into the right atrium. Then deoxygenated blood, or blood that has already been used by the body, from our legs, from our heels, from our toes, from our knees, from our thighs, from our hips, from our genital organs, will pass through the inferior vena cava, and it will also be deposited into the right atrium. Ade a meka ye nyina ne say moja aye adwumawie ewo ye ni, ye hwen, yano, ye ti, yaso, ye kon, ye chest, ye breast, ye nufumu, ye frumu nina baba befa superior vena cava mu edia ababegu right atrium mu. Ena afi moja aye adwumawie nso wo ye na ase, ye kotodwe, ye sere, ye bottles, ye toe, ye hips nina so baba befa inferior vena cava mu edia baba begu right atrium mu. Now, idea is separating the right atrium from the right ventricle. Your friend a tricuspid valve. What this tricuspid valve does is that it allows the deoxygenated blood to flow in one direction. In other words, it allows the blood to flow from the right atrium into the right ventricle, but it does not allow the backflow of the blood into the right atrium again. Idea valve no tricuspid valve na ye ne say eboama moja na nipadua na yiso awie no free right atrium ni ba right ventricle ni, but moja ni ntimi nsan echi because of the tricuspid valve. So after that, the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle will move or will pass through the pulmonary artery into the lungs. I've already told you that all arteries carry oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. So with our pulmonary artery here, it will take the deoxygenated blood. It will take the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. You and I know that the primary function of the lungs is for gaseous exchange. So the moment the deoxygenated blood gets to the lungs, inhalation and exhalation, the blood has gotten into the lungs. Inhalation and exhalation will take place. So please, we know that we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Inti ade ebe ni se moja na aye dumewe na efi pulmonary artery ni mebegu lungs ni ma. Lungs na ebe home carbon dioxide ni ebu mu ni na ba bonti. Na afi de ahome oxygen no abem. So the moment the deoxygenated blood gets to the lungs, all the carbon dioxide in the blood will be breathed out, or the person will breathe out all the. So the moment the deoxygenated blood gets to the lungs, the person will breathe all the carbon dioxide out, then take in the oxygen into the blood. So after breathing and everything, the blood in the lungs is no more deoxygenated, but it is rather oxygenated, or it contains oxygen, because nipana home oxygen aba begumojeni and away carbon dioxide ni na aba abontin. So after that, the blood here in the lungs becomes oxygenated, or it is pure. So it will pass through the pulmonary veins. So it is the pulmonary veins that will take the oxygenated blood from the lungs into the left atrium. I've already told you that all veins carry deoxygenated blood except the pulmonary vein. So in this sense, the pulmonary vein will not take deoxygenated blood. It will take oxygenated blood into the left atrium. Then there is a valve between the left. The oxygenated blood will move from the left atrium into the left ventricle through the mitral valve or the bicuspid valve. So the bicuspid valve allow blood to flow in one direction, that is from the left atrium into the left ventricle. The mechanic nani say ade a bicuspid valve no ye ni say obua mamoja oxygen boom efa left atrium ni ma ba begu left ventricle ni, but ensign emma sa moja na ba begu left ventricle no ensign the chi enkobiu. That is the function of a valve. So after the oxygenated blood has gotten into the left ventricle, the left ventricle is a chamber of the heart that is very muscular. It contains a lot of muscles. So here, it needs a lot of muscles to be able to pump the blood to all parts of the body through the aorta. So after the oxygenated blood has gotten into the left ventricle, it will pass through the aortic valve. The aortic valve. So it will pass through the aortic valve, oxygenated blood from the left atrium through the mitral or the bicuspid valve. It will pass through the aortic valve into the aorta. Into mojana afeya mojano I containing oxygen aba begu left atrium nim. Eba be from mitral na se bicuspid valve nim. Aba begu left ventricle nim. Enti se begu left ventricle nim a eba be fa aortic valve no. Valve no so e ma moja na inside the chibi. Enti eba be fa aortic valve nim aba begu aorta nim. Eti ade a aorta ne be ye ne se ebe distribute blood into all parts of the body. So the aorta will distribute the oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. Eti moja na now afi containing oxygen. Ebi be kwa ni, ebi be kwa so, ebi be kwa hwen, ebi be kwa ano, ebi be kwa ye nan ase, ye suremu, ye genital organs. Enti no oxygenated blood ni na aorta ne be distributed to all parts of the body. Nti esan koye adwuma ni na wie a na carbon dioxide asan ba be wo mojanim. Na afi de asan ye impure and asan ye deoxygenated. Na afi asan fa superior and inferior vena cava na process no ashasi. So thank you for your time. So today we are done with our lesson. You can leave your questions in the comment section.